Oakvale Case File, Dianna Felter, File Number 548, Epitaph of Distress. I feel it is paramount to the improvements of Dianna that she be properly diagnosed with the condition. However, beyond the obvious narcissistic personality disorder and the clear sociopathic tendencies, I have not to describe her affliction. The term I could only surmise would be of an antisocial behavior syndrome of some sort. The sensical needs of Dianna are not of the same strip of flesh as those of the ordinary person. She desires naught but the pleasure of manipulation via sadistic methods. She graced me with a new web of lies yesterday, one in which I may have played the fly. During our session, she affixed me with the gaze of a lover, and blessed me with the story of when her parents attempted to rescue her from a life of prostitution. They had tracked her down after several years being deemed a missing person, at which time she had managed to encourage a customer to retrieve some things of convenience from a gas station. They had waited for him to leave before entering her place of residence at the time, a motorhome parked behind an outlet mall. It was upon their entrance to her abode that she berated them into apologizing for the way she had left home, as if it were not of her own choice or desire. By the end of her visit, they had agreed to some insidious deeds to compensate her for the trouble. Her father, being of a larger build, was thus seduced into abusing her mother to the brink of death. And this mind alteration was not her intended desire, but merely a side effect of her coercion. The mother wound up in the hospital as the father continued on to the task she had set to him as compensation. Let it be known, her mother only managed to get to the hospital due to a vagabond who had heard the commotion and called for an ambulance at a payphone.
The money I owe is the life I give, to watch it burn, to watch it give, to cry and mourn for those who strive, and laugh and play as they survive, weak and hungry as they go, strong and fierce as I grow, wrought and distraught they thought I taught, fraught with bought disingenuous cots, they survived, but lost what humanity they sought.
Oakvale Case File, Dr. Amanda Morrison, File Number 634, Fallout.
It is strange. I have seen countless institutions falter, fail, and shudder, but none have ever seen their staff prosecuted for the inexplicable horrors they inflicted upon their patients. Sure, names are besmirched, people go into hiding, but not once have I borne witness to a trial for crimes against humanity. I am a unique individual in my field in that I am but one of a handful of women who have transcended to the role of psychiatric specialist. The immoral and horrendous actions that some of my male counterparts have taken, which result in the facilities they maintain shutting down, have never been prosecuted. Yet I, a female who has not subjected my patients to shock therapy, water therapy, lobotomy, starvation, sleep deprivation, or any other ill-mannered treatment which could be deemed torture, see myself caught in a lawsuit. A patient who I will avoid naming had a family member put forth this legal action on the grounds of mistreatment. Mind that I have done no such thing. This hindrance could ruin my possibilities of treating the other patients. I have decided henceforth to continually have all patients monitored by at least one corrections officer to some degree. This includes during our sessions together. It is my hope that this will remove the possibility of any other lawsuits coming my way via a secondary witness to attest to my continual professional and humane behavior with patients. The pathological liar in question has been removed from my care. She was sent to a sister facility on the West Coast. I am deeply troubled by this occurrence, as it detracts from my service to the other patients. However, precautions must be made to protect myself and this facility in order to continue treatment regimens. I expect the time lost due to these circumstances will be made up by additional years in treatment. As of yet, mental and personality disorders have never been cured, only managed. It is my penultimate wish to cure an individual afflicted by these horrendous instabilities, though I doubt I will ever succeed. At the very least, a colleague at the aforementioned sister facility has published his life's work establishing that majority of these afflictions can be attributed to genetic disposition, that those who develop symptoms later in life may have been predisposed to their illness, but only surfacing due to traumatic or life-altering events. This is indeed a happy occurrence, though it might not seem so, for it is only when the cause of an illness is known can a doctor cure it, and so it should be the same with mental illness.
Death is a continuity of life, to be with the loves we have, working and striving for the bliss of silence. We walk and talk and try and cry. Of death's come do we fly, and hope for longer despite knowing why. Despite the loss and the cruel, cruel boss of eternity's design. I try, we try, they try, and try and try, but for naught, for destiny has already come. Let the hells above and the heavens below know that the world is cruel to those who worship, to those who do not, and those who want. Dark Library, The Chronicles of Oakvale was written by Michael Holderness and produced by Out of Pocket Productions. The roles of Dr. Amanda Morrison and Dianna Felter were played by Morgan Ramirez. You can find us on Twitter at Out of Pocket Prod and Facebook at Out of Pocket Productions. If you would like to help us out, like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Come back next week to hear more from Dr. Amanda Morrison.